and a 7-point lead. Trying to get it to the outside to Stiff. Good pursuit from the Brave defense, number 52, Chris Jones.
The Indian River defense, Mickey, seems to be playing a little in spurts tonight. They have a play, and you'll see where they don't do well here. Very good pursuit. There's a bunch of Indian River Braves down there, and I don't know if it's because emotionally they're up and down or because there are only certain Western Branch plays that they're able to read and to get there on.
Darrell Walton facing a 2nd and goal from the 4-yard line. Malik Cook in the backfield as the lone back. Stiff in motion, coming to the near side. Malik Cook puts his head down and bulldozes forward short of the touchdown, but it's going to be 3rd and short. A lot of helmet pops down there. Lance Bishop around the football. Here's the replay.
One of the good things here for Western Branch is that Malik Cook is there. Stiff goes in motion. A lot of those Indian River players got to be thinking Stiff is going to get the ball this time. He doesn't. Malik Cook is there, takes the ball, almost gets a touchdown. It's 3rd down and inches.
3rd and short. Did he get in? He did. Touchdown, Sharon Stiff. He had a score last year against the Indian River Braves and gets another one here. It's a 13-point lead for the Bruins. Just straight ahead football right there. Nothing fancy.
Western Branch offensive line so far having a good game controlling the line. And part of that is accounts for their success all those yards so far.
Touche to add on the extra point. It's a 14-point Bruin lead, and the homecoming crowd at Indian River has to be somewhat surprised that the Bruins are able to hold down this lethal offense of Indian Rivers and show why they're one of the top offenses in Tide Water, the Western Branch Bruins.
You're right about that. I forgot to mention first quarter stats, Mickey. Smacky Stats guys who finally believe in Kansas. Stiff has 10 rushes for 34 yards.
And he's already added to that here in the 2nd quarter. 9:34 to go, a 14-point lead for Coach Lou Johnston and the Bruins. And if Coach Johnston could draw it on the chalkboard earlier in the week, he couldn't have it any better than this. Let's go down and see what's happening on the sideline with Merlin Vaughn.
Hey guys, I know if you can see it upstairs, but the problem for the Indian River defense is quite simple. Western Branch is running a bunch of balance, sort of like over-balanced lines or off-balance type of offensive set formations, and Indian River is simply not adjusting to that extra blocking man on their sides, and so they're running right off tackle, being able to take advantage of that over-balance or over-stacked side. So Indian River is going to have to make adjustments, or hey, Western Branch is going to have a big night tonight. Back up top.
Good work, Merlin. Corey Holly at the 3-yard line. Finds a gap. Western Branch special teams come through there on the stop for Coach Lou Johnston, number 62, Kenny Mosley.
Hey.
That last scoring drive to make it 14-0 Western Branch took 5 minutes and 10 seconds. They did take some time off the clock that time. 11 plays to go 60 yards quite methodically. The Keys, Stiff had 7 rushes on that particular drive, including a 1-yard touchdown jack-o'-lantern.
Oh.
Ooh. I'm getting scared just sitting here.
9:13 to go first half. Ooh. Indian River needs a score here, and it looks like they're going to go in the shotgun. James Boyd, first down from the 25. James wants to throw. The leading passer in Tide Water underthrows Anthony Casey. 2nd down, 10. I'm not surprised at all that they go to the shotgun. Had some success with it. Had a couple of bad snaps over at Deep Creek towards the end of the ball game. That's going to happen anytime you run the shotgun. James Boyd, 6 touchdown passes, 861 yards, 123 a game. He looks to add to that right now. But good pressure and coverage from Western Branch. Boyd has to run it, and there's the great athlete coming out of the pocket. He's popped pretty good, but he gets up quickly on the hit. Clayton Porter for the Bruins. That's what James Boyd can do for you.
That's what James Boyd's going to have to do, it appears. He does get the first down here, and you'll see nobody to throw it to, so he's going to run it. He has to his advantage that the Western Branch defense has had time to kind of stretch out and make adjustments and go back and try to cover receivers. So he does have that to his advantage, but at the same time, good athletic ability getting there.
He wants to run again short of the 35, you make that the 40-yard line. It'll be at the 39 where it'll be 2nd down and 7 for James Boyd.
Things may be looking up for the Indian River Braves. Boyd's run right there, the first play for positive yardage for the Indian River Braves the whole game, or rather since the first play of the game. And I mean, we're almost halfway through the second period.
2nd down 8.
Well, not really.
8:08 to go. Boyd wants to throw. Kaysen going long. He goes short. Complete. Caught by number 19, Brandon Lawrence.
Talked a few minutes ago, Mickey, about the Western Branch offensive line on that particular play. Look how much time he has to throw the ball. Right there in the replay, you can see he has some time, and still when he lets go of it, there's no heavy pressure. A lot of credit to the Indian River offensive line on that particular play on holding those Bruins at bay.
Looks like the Braves have started to get it going offensively. You see Mike Tolliver take a glance back because he's got to hike the ball in the shotgun to Boyd. Boyd to throw. He overthrows Kaysen this time, rolling out to the far side. It's going to be 2nd down and 10 from their own 49-yard line. Again, the Braves trail by 2 touchdowns. Western Branch defense last in the city in interceptions, the Western Branch defense. So James Boyd could look to hook up and get that top-ranked passing game going. They're going to stay in the shotgun. 2nd down, 10. James Boyd directing traffic. Pretty good protection. Going for Bishop. Bishop with a nice adjustment to the football inside the 15-yard line. He stepped between the 2 defenders there.
Nicely covered there by 3, count them, 3 defenders, and still give credit to Boyd for being able to thread the needle. You'll see here again, pretty good protection for him, not a lot of pressure until just as he releases the ball, and there, nice play for Bishop, nicely covered 3 Western Branch defenders on him. That's the biggest play for Indian River thus far, and that's probably the best field position they've had so far in the game. Indian River, this is the 3rd game for Indian River, Mickey, that they have not had success running. In the last 2 games, they're only averaging 51 yards on the ground, so they resort to their air attack, and it was successful on that play for 37 yards.
And a loose ball. They put the ball down on the turf again, but Boyd able to cover it up. So it's going to be 2nd down and 10. 3 times they put the ball on the ground tonight. Only lost it once, however. We mentioned last week against Great Bridge, they put it on the ground 6 times and didn't lose any. As Richie just mentioned, averaging 51 yards a game rushing the last 2, or 3, excuse me, make that 2, because of Corey Holly's injury. This is Mike Joyner who slips.
Well, I think there's a little more to it than that also, although you can say that his absence may have done something for the general esprit of the team. But I might also say, Mickey, that Boyd usually gets 50 yards a game himself running. And he hasn't been, he obviously, you know, wasn't able to do that in the last couple of games.
5:50 to go first half. 14-point lead for the Bruins. The Braves threatening with a 3rd down and 8 from the 11-yard line.
Official timeout.
Get things situated out, and Preston Harding will start the clock. Mike Joyner will come out of the ball game. So in the backfield is going to be Sam Hardy, Antoine Stooks, and number 25, Antonio Spivey. I believe Indian River may take their 2nd time out, and then indeed they will.
Boyd coming off the field there, getting some instruction from his coaches, and he's having a little bit of difficulty. Take a look at this quarterback contest here, Mickey. This is interesting. The attempts, they're about even. Completions, they're about the same. Walton has about 4 more touchdowns. That's significant. Walton slightly behind Boyd in total yards passing. The real difference is in total yards. The difference is Boyd's able to run the ball. Walton has only about 100, not even 100, more like 26 yards rushing, but Boyd has over 300 yards rushing. As you can see by some simple subtraction there between the yards and total yards.
Well, you can.
Well, I can. Simple subtraction.
You have to take me through those steps. The Western Branch defense, with their back against the wall,
you know,
have given up more points in the second quarter than any other quarter. How about that? 49 points given up in the second quarter.
Pretty heavily, too, because they're the second period in which they've given up the most is the third period, and they've given up 26, given up twice as many as in any other quarter.
Play action pass knocked away. And I think Marvin Urquhart got a hand on that, or Carl Washington. Now it's 4th down for Coach Parker. Little play action fake there, and it was indeed Marvin Urquhart, the freshman, 6'1", 240. Boy, good hang time there to get a hand on that.
Let me tell you something. I just realized that the University of Delaware is sort of a mythical thing in this area. Western Branch has the hats, has the helmets. Coach Jerry Carter has that 20-year-old Delaware hat that he wears. You can't even read the name on it anymore. He still wears it. What's up with that?
You got me.
Okay.
4th down. Boyd on the option. Short of the first down, the Bruins are going to take over unless he gets a very generous spot. Lorenzo Ferguson says 1st down Western Branch.
Nice sell.
And Preston Harding says it too.
Nice sell on that play to Antonio Spivey. A lot of people thought Antonio really had the ball, including the lineman who hugged him. You could almost feel that he was celebrating inside that he had the guy with the ball, and then realizes, oh, he doesn't have the ball.
How about this Western Branch defense?
Well, they're performing quite well. What I was going to also say is that's one of the reasons, one of the things that's enabled Boyd to carry the ball for so many yards, Mickey, is because he's good at selling that handoff, and that's also helped his passing percentages.
But they're still going to be right at that 50-yard average. They only have 22 so far in the ball game with 4:54 to go first half. So on that carry, I think is Malik Cook just trying to get it away from the end zone there. No, that's Sharon Stith on the carry. He gets 4 yards, going to be 2nd down and 6. So they're still having their troubles running the football. 22 yards so far. Richie mentioned the last 2 games averaging 51 yards a game on the ground. But the Western Branch Bruin defense with a huge stand there when it was almost certain that we expected Indian River to get it in.
That's right.
Stiff. Strings it out. It'll be close to a first down, which is the best thing the Bruins can do here is eat up some clock and get some first downs. 4:15 to go first half. There you see why Western Branch is having their success. They can run it and they can throw it, averaging 311 a game. Look at the balance of Indian River, however. That's what makes James Boyd such a big threat.
Sure does. And part of that, as I said, was his ability, penalty here against Western Branch, his ability to sell the other play, the play-action play.
Western Branch isn't penalized very much. They've only been penalized 8 times in their last 3 games compared to Indian River. Has been penalized 18 times in their last 3.
2nd down.
The area points scored leaders. Success means points, and you see that Western Branch, Deep Creek, and Indian River all over 20 points a game. Look at Green Run at 40, however. The Green Run Stallions putting a lot of points up on the board. 2nd down 10, 4 minutes to go first half. A 2-touchdown lead for the Bruins, and they have the football at their own 4-yard line. Quick pass, complete to Stiff. Boyd there defensively. James Boyd is just all over the football field. Stith is short of the first down. It's going to be 2nd down and 1. Indian River can only stop the clock one more time here now in the first half. No, they moved the chains. That's another first down for Stith.
Now this is interesting, Mickey. I was just looking, we were talking earlier, and I'll complete this after this play. It's a little complicated.
Stiff likes to go on the far side. The spin move on James Boyd. He breaks another tackle. A step away from going the distance there. If not for number 24, Ronnie Wilson, could have been 6 points for Sharon Stiff.
not only has Indian River had trouble rushing the last 2 games, averaging 51 yards a game, don't forget, they're averaging like 311 yards per game over the season. The last 2 games, their passing yardage is only averaging 156 yards per game, which is significantly below their usual production. Last 2 games, 207 yards per game total offense, 100 yards below their average for the season.
2:52 to go first half. The math major, Richie Babb, coming up with his stats. Lorenzo Ferguson not having the success that Sharon Stith having. On the stop there, Ronnie Wilson.
But by the time I figured it out, about 4 minutes had ticked off the clock.
But I want to let all the 23 sports fans know that that was Sans calculator. No calculator there.
No.
And we do have one.
Oh, do we?
Yeah, but I like watching you work there.
Hey, thanks.
Chris Edmonds will get a break defensively. Trots to the sideline. 2:21 to go first half. A 2-touchdown lead for the Bruins. 2nd down and 10 from the 31-yard line. Walton to throw. Good protection. A dart across the middle, complete. Sam Hardy on the stop. Sherrard, the wideout, on the completion.
You'll see here, Mickey, that Stith comes into the picture. Oh, there you go. Nice reception. Sherrard's in the right place at the right time. I thought I was watching 2 or 3 plays ago. I wasn't sure. I was confused. I tell you what,
all that math.
2 math problems, my brain is fried. This is your brain on math. Get it?
1:35 to go first half. 3rd down 4. Ball at the 39-yard line of the Bruins. Option play. Malik Cook looking for a block. Ronnie Wilson on another stop along with Lance Bishop.
Here's an interesting stat for you. Ferguson of Western Branch has more yards than any other rusher in the Southeastern District without the football in his hand. He goes in motion every play and never gets a carry. I don't think he has a carry tonight, does he? Ferguson, 25, he has 1 carry, sorry.
The Bruins will have to kick it away.
I mean, so if you don't count carries and just running, I mean, he's averaging
1,000 yards a game.
Well, yeah, but he's also averaging about 0.26 yards per carry.
Anthony Kaysen fields it at the 20. Slips down, no whistle. Did the knee hit? Yes, it did. Daryl Parson, the back judge on the call there. I think it was a good call. I think the knee hit the ground. Indian River with 1 timeout remaining and 36 seconds to go first half. Down 2 touchdowns to the Bruins. And they have not only done it offensively, the Bruin defense has had to buckle up and contain James Boyd, and they've done a pretty decent job of that so far.
You know, I would venture to guess, Mickey, that last game and this game are the only 2 games this season that Indian River has been held without a score in the first half.
We'll check that out in just a second. Boyd to throw. This one goes to Kaysen, his first completion of the night to Kaysen. Good for a first down. Indian River didn't score in their opening game in the first half against Norview. I know that's a shock to a lot of people. And then the Great Bridge game is the only other game where they failed to score in the first half. Anthony Kaysen, one of the deep threats, the leading receiver of this Indian River team. 12 yards a catch, that's what he got on the last play, and it's good for a first down. Got 2H on the wristbands there. I think that stands for too hot to handle.
I think you're right.
Boyd under pressure from Washington, still running for his life. Edmondson comes in and gets the sack. Washington and Edmondson both in there, and that's going to do it for the first half. Defense, the name of the game. We talked about it in the pregame show with Coach Lou Johnston, and how pleased does the Western Branch Bruin coaching staff have to be with their defense against a top-notch offense tonight.
They really have to be happy, especially when the defense for Indian River, rated above Western Branch's defense, has really not stopped them very much, but their defense has shown a lot of character.
Erlen Vaughn's going to try to catch up with Coach Bob Parker. here at the half. And let's go down on the field now to Merlin Vaughn.
Coach, a slow start in the first half. What do you do to rally the troops for the second half?
First of all, we got to stop them. They're running right at us, and we got to stop their offense and give us a little bit more time, for our offense to get to work.
Okay, Coach. Good luck in the second half. Okay, guys, you heard it. They have to stop their Bruin attack. Back upstairs. We'll see if they can do it after the second half. Back upstairs.
Thanks, Merle. Good work down on the sidelines there. A 14-point lead for the Western Branch Bruins. And it's really not a surprise. We knew they could play good offense. What they had to do, they did. They played good defense against James Boyd.
They sure did, and they pretty much overpowered Indian River's defense, something we weren't sure they'd be. Average 169 total yards for Western Branch, 72 for Indian River. So they did bounce back there at the end with a nice long pass, about 37 yards, helped them considerably. 28, Western Branch starting on their own 42. That's a big difference.
One of the differences, the first score, the touchdown pass from Walton to Ferguson. 11 touchdown passes on the season now. Then Indian River put the ball down on the ground, and the Bruins were able to pick it back up. They put it down 3 times and only lost 1 so far tonight. But that's that swarming Bruin defense, reminiscent of the Junkyard Dog defense a few years back. Offensively, year in and year out, Western Branch can do it. Stith with a spin move, gets away from one, gets away from a good defender in Kaysen. Watch James Boyd hold on right here. Say, I'm not going to let go of Stith. The spin move doesn't work there. 14 zip, and the stats don't lie in this case. Sometimes stats can be a little misleading, but Western Branch doing it to the Braves right now, but the Braves are going to get the ball back here to start the second half. What do you expect from Indian River? You think they're going to continue to put the ball up in the air?
Well, I think they're going to have to if the success of their rush has been any indication of how successful it will be for the remainder of this game. Not only today, but as we said, averaging 51 yards a game the last 2 games, but also in total yardage, because we determined Indian River about 100 yards below their average per game for the last 2, and they really need to pull out of it. I don't know what they need, maybe a big play here to break open or something like that, but they really need to pull out of this thing.
James Boyd will do it at quarterback for the Braves tonight, exclusively at quarterback. Anthony Kaysen and Selby will be the wideouts. Holly, Joyner, Hardy, and Johnson, along with Stoops in the backfield, will set the offensive line in just a minute. The kick is away, and Anthony Kaysen picks it up at the 10-yard line. Kaysen gets a good block from Rashad Johnson close to the 30-yard line, where the offensive line of L.T. Johnson, Chris Jones, Edmonds, Mike Tolliver, Lancaster, and Edward Seward will set it up offensively.
You know, we said right when I was talking about the halftime stats that Indian River starting their drives with much worse field position than Western Branch, and you can see why. Western Branch has an almost impenetrable wall in this game when Indian River gets a kickoff.
Indian River shut out in the first half for just the 3rd time this season. In the first game of the season, and then last week against Great Bridge, and now here against Western Branch. Looking to put some points on the board here in the 3rd quarter, and they are going to throw. Boyd with a bullet to Kaysen. He makes the nice shoestring grab. And Robert Holly will make the tackle, set the Bruin defense. It's Jason Hess. Marvin Urquhart had a big stop defensively. Richie will take us through this replay.
There you see Boyd backing up to pass. And just some good coverage on the part of Western Branch, but nonetheless, Kaysen's able to pick it up, and Kaysen can be dangerous.
Boyd again, this one goes to Kaysen. He tries to get it back to the inside. Going to be short. He picked up a first down on the last play. It's going to be 2nd down and 6. Lance Bishop will be one of the wideouts.
I'm on North Carolina Vision.
In defense, we said Marvin Urquhart, the freshman, had a big knockdown of a pass in the first half. Frank LaMagma, J.D. Smith, Washington with a couple of calls in the first half. Mark Edmondson, Lorenzo Ferguson, Bryant Clements, Clayton Porter, Robert Holly. Expect the Walton boys to play defensively, both Darren and Darrell. 2nd down, 6 from the 45. Pressure this time. Boyd, another bullet to Kaysen. 3 in a row to Kaysen. Shakes a tackle. Ferguson lays the leather on, but Kaysen up to the challenge. Good for a first down.
Indian River, this may be what they need. They have not had momentum really since early in the Deep Creek game. They really haven't had momentum. And I think Indian River has seen something here they may be able to complete against Western Branch. The key to the rest of this game may be if Western Branch, their defense, can make the adjustment to that pass to Casey.
Here it comes again, but this one goes to David Selby. Short of a first down.
Basically the same play, Mickey, basically the same pass play, just on the other side of the field.
On the stop, Bryant Clemens for Coach Lou Johnston. Now, see if the Braves are going to go exclusively in the air because they have a 2nd down and 4. Western Branch Bruins defensively in the 3rd quarter have only given up 26 points all season. Indian River looking to do something about that, and James Boyd will air it out. This one through the hands of Anthony Kaysen, and if you see Anthony, he'll tell you that 9 times out of 10 he's going to haul that ball in. I think he wanted to run before catching it.
Indian River being very successful. You'll see Kaysen all by himself, but he's out here in the flats, and what that indicates to me is that Western Branch is going to give them the short pass. They're going to give them those short hits, few yards, to try to shore up their defense in the backfield a little bit so that they don't turn that short pass into a long one, because all the defensive backs got burned because they're in covering tight and trying to shut out that pass.
It's a 2-touchdown lead for the Bruins, but James Boyd will have something to say about that. He's looking for the first down here now. Gets a block from Selby, gets the first down across the 20. A late flag thrown in the direction of Jason Hess of the Bruins.
But the Bruins are already pointing toward Indian River, saying it's the penalty is against them. Nice job by Ferguson there for Western Branch to hang in there and get that.
On the offense, 15 yards from the spot.
And get that tackle, but maybe it wasn't so pretty after.
The clipping penalty against the Braves. Jason Hess, number 78, goes down. You see James Boyd here. If you can see it, it'll be on the right of your picture. Look in the background. Well, there's a great block.
Nah, I can't see it.
Two good athletes.
But that's what I was talking about right there. Ferguson hanging in and actually getting that tackle to Boyd.
9:44 to go. 3rd down. 9:44 to go, 3rd quarter. 3rd down and 14 now. Well, they had a first down inside the 20, but the penalty haunts the Braves. Down 2 touchdowns. Boyd to throw. Pump fake. Good coverage from the Bruins. Smartly, James Boyd throws it away. 4th down. The Bruin defense has done it again. The Braves may have to go for it here. A punt really wouldn't help any.
I tell you, Carl Washington for Western Branch is having a great game, and you see that in the tenacity that he had displays on that last play. He's tackled, he's got 2 guys against him, but still is able to cause a problem twice for Boyd of Indian River, and finally he just has to dump it off and get rid of it. Nice play from Washington. He had a big sack earlier in the game as well.
4th down play for Coach Bob Parker and the Braves. They'll go out of the shotgun. Will James Boyd expect some kind of sprint out here? He might have the option to run or throw. Let's see. No, it's a straight drop. Yes, he is going to roll. And he's going to have to run it, and the Bruin defense has done it again.